Hello, vinyl community. This is Mike with TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks. I'm coming on today to do a contest entry. This contest is for the Poetry on Plastic channel, who's just recently reached 10,000 subs, and he's holding a contest to celebrate that lofty goal. I wanted to come on here and do my take on this interesting contest he's got going, and kind of give his channel a boost like it needs a boost. But if you're not subscribed to his channel, it's definitely a channel you want to check out. Very insightful information about artists that he loves, about the records he loves, and about his stereo equipment. Just great content on there. Very interesting. I mean, it's stuff that when he talks about it, you know he knows what he's talking about. So definitely worth checking out. And I like this contest because it's got some very interesting questions, some things that you normally don't see on a lot of VC channels. He loves a mix of both heavy black metal all the way to classical. Very well versed on all of that, and just really a great channel for variety and everything. And on this contest, he's got some really great prizes. There'll be a grand prize and a runners-up prize. So anyway, I would also invite you to go in and check out his channel, subscribe to it, and join in on this contest. So the first thing he wanted us to show is a classical record or something with an orchestral arrangement. So if you don't have anything classical, there's plenty of other styles of music that has orchestral arrangements in it. I don't have a huge amount of classical, at least on vinyl. My issue is the really good stuff that I like to buy on classical is usually more expensive than what I can afford. So what I usually do is pick up something. If it sounds good, I keep it. If it sounds old, dated, like a lot of the old 50s and 60s recordings do, then I get rid of it again. But one box set I found from probably one of my top 5 favorite composers is Claude Debussy. This is a Time Life box set, Great Men of Music, and this box set is usually fairly. The series is usually fairly easy to find. The music on this is really great. I think it does a really good job. Doesn't sound very dated, even though it is an older recording, and has a great booklet that comes with that talks about Debussy, his life, and goes through each one of the different works that are on this box set. Some great pictures in there, great information, and there's also a listener's guide to the recordings in this box set. And there's some great stuff in here. Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun, very, very popular orchestral track from him. And Images for Orchestra, numbers 1 and 3 is on here. Oh, number 2 is also on here. The Children's Corner Suite is a lot of fun. Just some great stuff. Nocturnes. Sonata number 3 in G minor for violin and piano. There's some solo piano works, including Clair de Lune, which is probably one of his most popular works. La Mer is also on here. String Quartet number 1 in G minor. Just great collection of some of his greatest works, and very well very well performed, very well recorded. Just one that I really enjoy. And it's the main thing is it's rather inexpensive. I mean, you can usually find these collections for a really good price. So if you want to get into classical music and try out some composers, I would suggest going this route. And it doesn't cost you a lot of money. So, Debussy. I'm going to try to put that back right now. The second question is, what is the heaviest sounding album you have in your collection? I've got several that could fit in this category. Heavy doesn't always necessarily have to mean heavy metal, so I am going to stay away from that category for now. But what I would like to show is something from this Japanese band, Mono. This is the album You Are There. This is a great post-rock album, great post-rock band. And this particular one, there's the back cover, has two records in it. I think there's 3 tracks on each record. So one side is a full side, and one side has a slightly shorter track, and then a very short track on it. And both albums are set in that same format. Just great music from a band, post-rock band, that I think doesn't get enough attention. And this is one of their great albums, You Are There, by Mono, M-O-N-O. Now that's here's another one I wanted to show. Band I've shown before, KO Dot. Another great project by I've mentioned his name before, now completely slipped my mind. Sorry about that, but each one of his albums is quite experimental. And here comes Norman. Of course, he has to make a show. Poor Norman has been having some issues. Had to take some medicine today, which he hated, and spit up all over the place. But he's got some problem with his legs, where he licks his legs. It's like they itch or something. I think he's got allergies. So we tried giving him a little Benadryl to see if that helps him. But he's licking all the fur off his legs, so it's something we probably need to have him taken in to have looked at. But I was talking about KO Dot. This is a heavy album, but not in any heavy metal kind of way or anything, even though Tony Driver, I think it is, I hope it's Tony Driver, not Toby Driver, has also ventured into the heavy metal sound too. But this one is more of a progressive avant-garde jazz, kind of freeform sounding, even in the vocals, and just something that doesn't get a lot of attention. So there's that. Let's move on to the next question, which is an artist you got into because you are a record collector. I'm going to show an artist I got into because of Robert's On My Turntable channel. So another VC member. And the reason why I'm in the VC is because I'm a record collector. So that band is called Audience. This is a progressive band I never really heard before coming into the VC. I don't know how I missed them. Great band. This is the album called Lunch on the Butterfly Electra label. Just great progressive. If you like progressive music, you should check this out. But it's also fairly accessible too. It's not like it's heavy progressive, but it's progressive enough to be interesting. So, Audience. Number 4, a foreign or non-English record. The one I found is, I didn't have anything non-English, but that's kind of what I wanted to show. And this is on CD, it's not on vinyl, but it's more of an EP, and it comes in this interesting looking box. It's a Japanese band, EXO-K, which is K-pop, so Korean actually. And this is their second mini album called Overdose. It's really more of an EP. I think there are 3 tracks on it. And it's pressed in Japan. It's not available on any English pressing that I know of, but it comes with this really nice booklet, pictures. There you go. And then there's the CD. Talk about an album or show on an album. This one would have to be on CD or some other format that needs to be pressed on vinyl. The one that I want to talk about is one I have digitally. I don't have a physical copy of it, but it's one that I think I need to bring up, and that's South Korean band called Jambinai, Jambinai, and this album was released in 2019. It's called Onda, O-N-D-A. Now, I want to talk about this band, which many consider to be a post-rock band, or even post-metal. It's even more than that. They take that genre, but they use a lot of traditional instruments, and that's what makes their music so interesting. It's very dynamic, and I'm going to play a clip from the title track of that album. But talk about dynamics, going from soft, just relaxing music to suddenly outbursts of energy and power, unlike anything you've heard, and all done with just in the most innovative way. This band needs to get some exposure, and because they are so good. So Jambinai, I think is how you pronounce that. Make sure you look them up. You can stream their albums on Bandcamp, where you can also purchase them. It was released on vinyl at one time, but it's long ago sold out, so it needs to be repressed. Um, and the fifth thing that we are to do on this is to editorialize on a record or artist or a piece of gear that has been shown on the Poetry on Plastic channel. He did a response to the tag "If I Was a God," and on there he mentioned Frank Zappa as the one that he would give eternal life to, so he could entertain. He could be entertained for all of eternity. I completely agree with this, even though I didn't mention Frank Zappa on my entry. I didn't really think at the time he would qualify because he's already unfortunately passed on way too early. It'd been nice to see what new things he would have come up with, because he is so well versed in so many different styles: fusion, jazz, classical, avant-garde, progressive rock. I mean, he's done it all, and one of my all-time favorite artists. I'm a Frank Zappa nerd. I love everything Frank Zappa. Would pick up pretty much anything, even the albums that I don't care so much for, like Thing Fish, which I completely hate, but if I found it, I would definitely get it, just because it's Frank Zappa. Is there an easy place to say where you can get an entry point with Frank Zappa's music? Not really. It just depends on what you like. If you love heavy, ripping guitar solos, shut up and play your guitar, that box set would be a great place to start. If you like humor, probably Shake Your Booty would be a great one, even though Shake Your Booty would probably be a good starting point for anybody trying to get into Frank Zappa's music. It's got a lot of crazy, yes, somewhat vulgar humor in it. But there's a lot of great guitar solos in there. There's a lot of great fusion in there. Just a lot of everything. This one here is more along the lines of a avant-garde record, Lumpy Gravy. You can also find some of his classical music, like on Orchestral Favorites. London Symphony Orchestra did 2 albums with his music on it. Just a lot of great stuff out there, and definitely an artist I think is worth looking for and searching out. Just if you like all kinds of music, then you're safe pretty much starting anywhere. But look into his music. There's plenty of great sites out there, internet sites out there, that will give you information on Frank Zappa. I'm telling you, it's worth checking out to see if there's some place that you feel like would be an entry point for you. Also, on Poetry on Plastic's channel, we talked about, in fact, on this particular contest announcement video, he talked about Shostakovich's Symphony No. 5. This is a different recording than the one he showed, but this is really a beautiful recording. It's Istvan Kurches, I'm not sure how you'd pronounce that, conducting the L'Orchestra de la Suisse Romande. Sorry, I don't speak the language, but there you have it. Great recording of that, and highly recommend that if you're looking into the heavier side of classical music. This is a wonderful recording, Canadian press on London Records, but it's the Ace of Diamonds label. And just a really nice recording of it. Anyway, that's my entry for this contest. Go over, check out this Poetry on Plastic's channel. Look at some of the content he has there. I guarantee you there's going to be something there that you'll be completely interested in. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's got over 10,000 subs, and he really deserves it. Just great stuff. There's a reason why he has that many subs. All right, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed this contest entry. thank you to the VC, and we will talk to you all later.